Are we live? Okay, it says we are now live. So, hey guys, it's Mike here, and welcome to another video. We are going to be bringing you today about Dragon Ball Super, and more specifically, we are going to be talking about a topic which is going to do with Dragon Ball Super and its slice of life episodes, and mostly the past two episodes, episode 69 and episode 70. And kind of pondering the question of, should Dragon Ball Super just stick to and do slice of life? And so today, to join me, a very special guest I have here who you all should know very well, and his name is...
Alrighty, guys.
Who is it that I'm introducing right now?
It is QAAMAN here today.
Okay, so Mr. QAAMAN here today. We're talking about the slice of life in Dragon Ball Super, and we're doing it live. So, those of you who are hearing it after the fact, that's why you gotta enable those notifications so you can hear all these things live when we decide to do them. And so, QAAMAN, I'm gonna pose this question to you. Do you think that Dragon Ball Super... First off, let me pose a separate one to lead into it. Did you like these past two episodes of Dragon Ball Super?
I didn't like it. I fucking loved it.
So you really, really liked them, I suppose. And
yes, they were amazing, dude.
Yeah. What about them specifically did you really like the most? And of course, you could check out QAAMAN'S reviews over on his channel for these two episodes. But what would you say are really like the standout reasons? What really made you just really enjoy these episodes?
Well, specifically and personally, Mike, what I really loved was episode 70 because for those of you who don't know, like, I'm a massive sports fan. Like, my love for sports is off the charts. And, the fact that they made like a baseball episode, I'm a Marlins fan. So that made that a very intriguing episode for me. And in terms of episode 69, what I just liked is how we see like a crossover with Aurelia and Dr. Mascherito and Norimaki and all of those Dr. Slump characters. And it just added a different twist. It wasn't, a typical generic Dragon Ball episode where we see only Dragon Ball characters.
Yeah.
And that's what made it so interesting.
Yeah.
Not to mention, Rayleigh's power is like a gag character really made it humorous how she's fighting with like god-level characters.
Yeah, I completely agree. I really enjoyed the Aurelia episode, to start off with discussing that one. I really, it's funny, it almost felt like they just took an arc, like something that could be like kind of like an arc, with a crazy doctor scientist showing up and, them having to fight him and the two like heroes of the different universes clashing together. It's like they took an arc and they compressed it down to a single episode, and yet despite, what we saw with pacing problems with the end and the climax of the last arc, with this it was perfect for the little scale that we ended up seeing it on, and the clash of the characters that are bound by physics, so to speak, with the characters who are gag characters, so it doesn't even matter, was certainly funny. Although it is funny when you think about it, because Dragon Ball did start out as really a gag manga in a lot of ways, and there's even examples of Goku throwing a rock at the panel in the manga and breaking it. You know what I'm talking about, right, QAAMAN?
Yeah.
So, it is interesting that they try and make the differentiation now, but obviously it is very different now from the beginning of Dragon Ball. But that does lead me into, discussing what you were saying before as well, because I also really liked the episode with Yamcha and the baseball. And one of the reasons why I really liked that is because it was so different from what we normally see. But at the same time, when you watch it, I was like, okay, I would be interested in seeing like a little spin-off series of Yamcha teaching people from different universes how to play baseball and having to compete in a giant baseball tournament. And Yamcha is the main character because he's, the successful baseball player. It really makes me think, do you think, QAAMAN, that it would be maybe interesting if Super just decided to do like a slice of life, quote unquote, filler arc before like, another big arc, even though we already kind of know when it's going to happen. What do you think?
Well, I personally think that Super should have its own slice of life like series by itself, because one thing I feel for marketing purposes is that too much slice of life burns fans out. Like, slice of life is good in between major arcs. But if you do too much of it, people are going to it's going to become oversaturated. And if you remember, Mike, the perfect example is the beginning of Dragon Ball Super. Because if you remember, Mike, when Dragon Ball Super started, there was so much hype in the first two episodes, were slower episodes where we see Vegeta going on vacation and Goku being a radish farmer. So I think that if it's extended, it could be bad. And if it's just bad filler in general, like the Potafu arc, then you can just have that. Or the early Namek, those fake Namek arcs in Dragon Ball Z. Man, that shit was trash.
Oh yeah. Now there has really been some great examples of filler, though. Honestly, most of the filler from the original Dragon Ball, I have no problem with watching. I feel like it mostly blends in perfectly with Dragon Ball. Like, for example, when Goku goes to the Demon Realm to fight Ashula, I thought was great filler. But that stuff is different than Dragon Ball Super insofar as Dragon Ball Super, is based on the same notes that the manga is from Toriyama. So there's no technical filler, but I never really mind those episodes. And I guess you could say maybe they're kind of like a break, like you're taking a little bit of a break from like the actual main meat of the story to get into these fun episodes. But do you think perhaps if you don't think that it should be like extended throughout the entire series, do you think doing like little spin-offs of kind of things like this, for example, as I mentioned before, like a little baseball spin-off series with Yamcha or something, would be like maybe preferable? Because remember, with Shueisha is doing that whole Dragon Ball room thing. So, the whole collection of people doing, these possible spin-offs, do you think that would be a really interesting one to maybe explore in like a fun little, different series from what we normally see?
Yes. I think, honestly, Mike, like, I think the best thing that they could probably do is probably make a mini series. Like, if they did like a mini series about like Kaba and like, Universe 6, and like my kind of like did a spin-off with like Vegeta going into Kaba's universe, or like Yamcha playing baseball, or like, Master Roshi and all of his perverted stuff. I think that would be good for like short mini arcs. Nothing more than 6 to 8 episodes, though.
Yeah, I mean there are little mini anime that we've seen out there that are actually pretty good. For example, there was this one called Stream, I believe, which was a mech anime that was about 12 episodes, the entire series, and it had some really interesting concepts it introduced. But it was still pretty much fulfilling just despite it being that. Then there's Tekken Man Blade 2, and a number of other little miniseries. I mean, FLCL for fans of that, who I'm sure saw it on Toonami or Adult Swim years and years ago. There's a lot of those really little ones. But it is really interesting when you look at these slice of life episodes and they are able to capture it, honestly, in some ways better the spirit of Dragon Ball and Toriyama than even these arcs that I suppose Toriyama planned out in advance. What do you think, when you compare, say, the Battle of Gods arc and the Resurrection F arc, and many of these arcs we've actually seen up until this point, do you really prefer to see, something more serious along those lines, or do you really like fun little episodes? Like, if you could see, like, one episode that's, like, the peak of tension and, stuff going down versus just a fun episode where, like, a lot of wacky shenanigans, are you more interested in the former or the latter?
Well, the thing is, Mike, for me, I've always felt that what made Dragon Ball awesome as a series, and, Mike, you're familiar with Yu Yu Hakusho as well, is
Mm-hmm.
it has a great mix of doing both. Like I feel like if you make everything super and dark like the Future Trunks arc, and I'm not talking the Dragon Ball Super Future Trunks arc. I mean Future Trunks' whole story as a whole. Like if everything was as dark and depressing as the history of Trunks, I mean, my lord, you know. So like I think what they should do is these arcs are perfect to squeeze right after something major has happened, which is what I think Dragon Ball Super has done its best. And if I remember correct, I think Hail Zeon has said that in his videos too. Like one thing Super has done really well is these slice of life episodes and showing these character interactions. So I really feel like they mesh well right after a major arc. But at the same time, though, if the arc isn't good itself, then it's kind of like, well, yeah. That's why the Potafu arc was a failure, because the Universe 6 tournament didn't have any tension to it. So it's like we just finished the tournament, and now we have like this pointless thing of Goten and Trunks going to some planet with some purple jelly cum monster, you know, and Snow Cone blue haired Vegeta for like 4 or 5 episodes. It was trash.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, we already saw the Buu saga. Do we really need to see it done far worse again?
Oh God.
Well, basically also ripping off the Baby saga from GT. I really don't think so, because a lot of people didn't even like the GT version, and now we're going to see the Super version, where the animation, at least the animation Dragon Ball GT, looked really damn good half the time. In the Potafu arc of Dragon Ball Super, I don't know how to really describe half of those little frames that we saw on the screen. But let's also take it now, since you've heard our thoughts, let's take it to the comment section and the live stream as well, the live chat, because we're curious to hear what your thoughts are about this. Do you want to see, say, like, more slice of life? Do you want to see more of like a balance between slice of life and the more serious elements in the serious episodes of the series? Or do you want to see just like strictly Future Trunks-esque, horrible, everyone's dying every 10 seconds, no more Dragon Balls, the grim dark, like Death Note to the max, Future Trunks eats potato chips and there's dramatic music playing in the background? Let's hear what you think about that. Some people are saying balance. Someone said Omega Shenron should have defeated Merge Zamasu, which I really don't even think he could. We don't want to get into that, QAAMAN, now, do we?
Not into those never-ending power skill debates, guys.
Yeah. Well, let's just say if Omega Shenron can destroy a universe through a chain reaction, and Zamasu becomes the universe, I think there might be a little bit of a difference there. But then again, maybe you could say he could destroy Zamasu with a chain reaction.
Do you want me to do you want me, as Luther does in Key and Peele, do you want me to do a ghetto-fied version of what you just said?
Yes, I do.
They had to call a purple and they had to call a blue and purple short nigga to go wipe that nigga out. That's how much of a threat he was. They had to press the ultimate bail me out nigga button in order to solve the situation. I think get it. Mike,
yes.
This is your stream and but I actually had an interesting question for you though, because in these 3 slice of life episodes we've talked about, episode 69 and 70, but what did you feel about 68? And the reason why I'm asking you, Mike, is because I feel like 68 can be a representation of what could be bad slice of life if it's stretched out. So I kind of want to get your thoughts on that one, because that's definitely the weak sister of these 3 filler episodes.
Honestly, I keep forgetting that episode 68 exists just because of how, like, bland and boring it was by comparison. Like, what? Goku goes in a metal suit to the center of the earth while Beerus and Whis eat food. They summon the dragon, which does nothing except create a giant plot hole in the arc. Let's actually get into that real quick, QAAMAN, since I have you on the line. How do you feel that Bulma and Goku and everyone else didn't just wish for the heart virus to go away back in the Cell Saga, as opposed to, like, just using Trunks' medication, and then we see that Pan can be healed from a virus in Dragon Ball Super with the Dragon Balls. How do you feel about that? I mean, there was a gigantic problem that happened when Goku decided to have a heart attack in the middle of a fight against the androids. I kind of wonder, do you think maybe that's a plot hole, QAAMAN?
Do you want me to respond to you in QAAMAN, Quinn, or Ghetto?
I'd rather hear the Ghetto version. I think the Ghetto version would be a little bit more entertaining.
That nigga didn't even decide to use the Dragon Balls to even locate where the fuck Dr. Gero is. So you think these niggas are smart enough to use the Dragon Balls to heal a heart virus?
Okay, well, let me try and translate your Ghetto into H.P. Lovecraftian English from the 1920s. Okay. Certainly, the obsidian nature of Goku's oblivion could have been alleviated in the future Trunks timeline and the initial timeline of our observation through Goku using the Dragon Balls, or the orange spheres by which the serpentine being arrives in a beam of light illuminating the sky and granting our reality warping presence, of which we do enjoy upon this Christmas day.
No comment, bro.
By the way, you said earlier that you like the Marlins. I didn't know that they had Marlins in Antarctica.
Oh, no. Just for a sports team. I just support sports teams in the United States because, I mean, we really don't have any sports teams over here.
Do you mean you don't have any polar bear football teams, or you don't have any of them sponsored by Hot Topic?
I mean, no, man, you know the situation. There's pretty much just seals and penguins over near the station where I stay at, and it's pretty boring because that's all my dad pretty much analyzes for his research. So it kind of gets overplayed over at sometimes, but it's like, you know what? It's better than nothing. I mean, how many people can you say from Antarctica,
I don't know anyone from Antarctica. I mean, I know you. I totally know you. But let me ask you something. What kind of restaurants do they have in Antarctica?
None, bro.
They don't have
station, dog.
So, do you mostly eat frozen food? Is that what you're telling me?
No, bro.
How?
Gotta cook up. We always heat it up, bro. It's just like anywhere else.
On average, how long does it typically take you to catch a fish from the hole you saw in the ice every day?
I don't do that. I sit my black ass in the fucking station. I don't leave. Nobody fucking leaves, bro.
Now, let me ask you, correct me if I'm wrong, but back during about 2012, I believe you did a video in which you went to a Yu-Gi-Oh! Competition. And at this competition, you did claim to live in a place called, let me see if I'm reading this right, Miami? Now, is Miami a section of Antarctica, or am I just completely mistaken? Is my information I've been handed wrong?
I have no idea what you're talking about, bro. I don't know what video you're referring to or anything like that. So, yeah.
Oh, a likely story. So, guys, again, what do you happen to think about this topic? Let me know in the comments section, because slice of life, By the way, QAAMAN, before we go, let me ask you something. Now, considering that in the next episode preview from this recent episode of Dragon Ball Super, we see Goku is lying dead on the ground. Well, likely. Gohan is crying. Goten is crying. Do you think that there's a possibility that since Piccolo is in the vicinity, if Goku's dead body happened to have chopsticks on it?
Please, Mike. What are you turning into fucking duct tape?
If Piccolo were to accidentally trip and fall on Goku's body while he was holding chopsticks, would Piccolo automatically die just like Goku did? Or would the chopsticks no longer have any effect? Because they'd be caught off guard. Because they're dead.
I don't fucking know. Ask Toriyama.
He's not gonna fucking remember.
Mm-hmm. That's all I'm gonna say, bro. Got no response.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna try and maybe think real quick, since I'm already talking about these episodes. Let's just talk about the rest of it. Do you think that Gohan is gonna do anything or no?
In this upcoming arc,
Yeah.
absolutely, because the reason being is because, I mean, they don't really got a choice. Now, here's the thing. I hate Deus Ex Machina, but one thing that could happen is that I know, okay, I have a little bit of an insider. I'm not allowed to disclose the information, but all I'm hoping doesn't fucking happen is if you kill Goku and then say, "Oh shit, they killed Goku. Hit left and killed Goku. Oh, no problem. Let's just bring him back with the Dragon Balls." That would be okay, guys, I'm telling you right now. That would piss me off more than anything that has ever happened in the Dragon Ball series. If you go through this to kill Goku and then said, "Fuck this, let's just wish him back in like 20 minutes." That would make me a very, very, very angry man.
Well, the thing is, you gotta think about that might cause a little bit of a delay. Is that Goku, if he were to die on Earth, could not be wished back with the Earth Dragon Balls because they never, to our knowledge, removed that flaw in the Dragon Balls. So Goku, since he's already been wished back before even Namek in the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, would have to be wished back with another set of Dragon Balls. Now, they could try and argue maybe Zamasu somehow destroyed the Super Dragon Balls of every timeline or something, which would mean they'd have to go to Namek or New Namek to get there. And the only person who knows how to get to New Namek would be Goku and King Kai, of course. But
Right. But the problem, what I was thinking, Mike, I wasn't even thinking that far because the problem I felt is that, yeah, obviously there could be a discrepancy with wishing Goku back, but I mean, King Kai could just say, "Hey, hey, Namekians, could you get your green asses up and just wish Goku back to life?" I mean, it's like problem solved, you
but
know?
what if when they go to wish back Goku, gray moon dragons appear from the Namekian Dragon Balls, and instead of there's another dragon, but it's a gecko that comes out, and he's huffing paint, not smoking a cigar. He's huffing paint, and he tells them that the Dragon Balls won't work. They've stored up too much negative energy in the Namekian Dragon Balls because they're the original Dragon Balls. Toriyama's going to retcon it again because he forgot. And basically now Gohan has to defeat all of the other Purungas, and he'll have to defeat Alpha Purunga at the very end. Do you think that would be a great arc, or no?
Alpha Porunga?
Yeah,
Mike,
Alpha Purunga.
I've never heard such silly shit in my fucking life,
Then
bro.
I guess you've never read my comment section, Quaman, because I've heard much worse. I've certainly heard much worse.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Quaman, just a little bit of power scaling, by the way.
Well, by the way, you could pull a geekdom and just call me Quinn, bro. I mean, everybody knows my name.
Shut up, Quaman. By the way, Quaman, do you think that Gohan is more powerful than Goku Black and Hit, since Goku likely got a Zenkai after he, fought a merged Zamasu? And Gohan took a full-powered Super Saiyan Blue baseball throw, which he caught, and he was not even hurt. He tanked it. So do you think that makes him stronger than Super Saiyan Blue, Kaioken times 10, and Hit, and even Goku Black?
Mike, are you finding everywhere in the world to extend the stream? All right. Well, to respond to that, I would say, I mean, obviously Gohan hasn't trained the longest. I mean, the guy could barely turn Super Saiyan, and somehow through all of that, Gohan is a weak Super Saiyan is still somehow stronger than Piccolo. So really, in all essence, I mean, if you really think about it, because of how easily Vegeta defeated Tagoma, and all those characters were struggling against Tagoma with the exception of Gotenks, who like stayed in fusion for 10 seconds, I would have to say that no, I don't think Gohan could beat him.
But, Kwame, you forgot that Tagoma was suppressed to 1/1 trillionth of his power.
Oh, come on, bro.
That's why when he got hit in the balls, it hurt him. because he was suppressed.
Mm-hmm.
He was suppressed. And Gohan is te strongest evers. Maximum +2. But let us know your own thoughts down below about half the things we talked about in this stream. And as I always say, well, actually, this, for anyone who's missing it right now, by the way, I just want to say that this stream is going to go up tomorrow. So if you missed it, you can just make sure to check it out on the channel. But make sure you go over to QAAMAN'S channel and give him a subscribe. Check out his videos over there. Again, check out his reviews for those 2 episodes. And I guess the one before that, because I keep forgetting it exists. So those 3 episodes, those filler episodes. And, you know, see what he thinks is going to happen in the upcoming arc of Dragon Ball Super. Because, you know, got to go over there and watch that video. And as I always say, chopsticks are stronger than Piccolo. Bye!